In our media production, we have tried to use conventions whilst trying to create a unique opening sequence to our thriller film. We looked at the films Orphan and The Blair Witch Project for our research, as they are both aimed at the same audience and follow a similar narrative, both being quite dramatic. We found that the traditional conventions of a thriller included suspense, tension, cliffhangers, excitement, the main character in a problematic situation, and a possible death situation. From this, our media production has developed forms and conventions of a typical thriller film. Looking at camera shots, angles and focuses in the Blair Witch Project, many shaking shots are used when the characters are running, etc. This makes the film look more realistic and is filmed like a documentary. This adds realism to the film. We decided to use these types of shots to show a girl in our film running through the woods. We also used some establishing shots because it shows the audience exactly what's going on in the scene. From the film The Orphan, a lot of high-angle, close-up and over-the-shoulder shots were used. We decided to use these shots in our production with deep focus on the character's face. This showed the character's emotions to the audience. Using a shaky camera in the woods scene really helped us develop the forms and conventions of a thriller in our production. We also decided to develop forms and conventions of a thriller film through the sound that we used in our production. We used an orchestra-type piece. Our media production represents a teenage girl with mental health issues from the UK, aged around 15 to 25-year-olds. The actors in our production have been made to look between the ages of 15 to 25. The girl in our production wears natural makeup, which shows that she's a genuine teenager. The clothes that she wears makes her look like she's middle class. We made her look like this because it fitted in with the scenes that she was in, for example, the woods and the interrogation room. We tried to attract a male audience by using a guy for the detective role. The guy in our production is playing a detective, therefore wears a shirt and smart trousers. Portraying the actors in this way gives the audience an idea of what they are like and their personality.
One of the main ways of distributing our media product will be localised film festivals, such as the New Forest Film Festival, as it specialises in local and student films. This will help us reach our target audience of 15 to 25-year-olds, as a lot of this group will be students. Our indie audience will want to come here as it's out of the mainstream. Big brand cinemas such as Odeon wouldn't be suitable as they mostly show Hollywood blockbusters, which attract a lot of customers. Our project is small and relatively unknown and wouldn't be attractive to big brand cinemas as it wouldn't pull in a lot of money. We would also show our film at Salisbury Arts Centre. Audience of grungers will be attracted to this venue as it is smaller and less well known. We have also posted our project on YouTube and PV Works. Posting on YouTube has the potential to reach thousands of people worldwide.
We gave our media production a 15+ certificate, as we felt that it would not be suitable for those under this specific age. This allowed us to have an intense storyline without explicit violence and scenes of a sexual nature, as this would not be appropriate for this age range. Using the UK tribes as a guideline, we could conclude which audience would be most attracted to our thriller. We estimated that our audience would be young adults between 15 and 25, with the tribe of Grunger and or Indie. These tribes usually break the norm and prefer darker films that reflect their personalities. However, we hope that our film might appeal to a wider range of teens. We conducted a questionnaire to see what the audience really wanted. The majority of people answered were aged 15 to 18, which fitted our age range. To address our audience, we targeted particular types of social groups, Grunger and Indie. We carried out a questionnaire which helped us identify our target audience. From research, we discovered that our target audience was middle class from white British backgrounds and lived mainly in and around the city area. The students were aged 15 and above. We used teenage actors in our production so that the audience could relate more to them and their situation. Our media production attracts grungers and hipsters, otherwise known as Indie tribe. These people do not tend to follow the mainstream way of life and are regular cinema goers. Our production attracts these people because they enjoy darker films that reflect their personalities and they can relate to characters somewhat.
Whilst filming, we used a Sony DSC HX5V with a 10.1 megapixel and full 180 high definition video recording with stereo sound. It also has an optical steady shot which stopped camera shaking whilst filming the handheld shots. Overall, this camera is good quality for the project we were constructing. The camera would be better if it had controllable focus so we could draw the audience attention to certain parts of the screen or a certain object or person. We used the editing software Sony Vegas Pro. It was a bit complicated to understand, but it had a lot more options for things such as transitions than Pinnacle. Overall, it was fast and smooth, which meant we didn't have to wait for shots to load, meaning we could be efficient in editing. However, it may have been better if we had a wider range of sound effects as they were limited and hard to import.
Looking back at our preliminary tasks, we have learned that using a wide range of camera shots and movements help improve the final production, as in our preliminary tasks we only used some of the basic mid, close-up shots and a few different angles, but however in our final production we used shots ranging from a close-up to a long shot, with a variety of angles and also a tracking shot of the girl in the forest. We also learned that focusing more on the mise-en-scene helps to portray the character better and make them more believable to the audience. This is largely based on the costumes, and we focused on this more in our final production than our preliminary task. Finally, we think it shows how being more planned can help create a better final production, as we did not do much planning for the preliminary task, but really benefited from having a more detailed storyboard and the script written out for our final production.